Welcome to Empower Today. In August, we've been thinking about a chocolate bar phrase in advertising that they couldn't actually use because it wasn't legally correct. It was I'm going to not tell you the chocolate bar, so you won't be able to work it out. A blank a day helps you work, rest and pray. We've changed blank to prayer. A prayer a day helps you work, rest and play. We looked at prayer a few weeks ago. We looked at work and then we looked at rest. And today we're looking at, you got it, play. Do you remember some of these games? Kaplunk. How awesome was that? My granddad was rubbish at this with his massive Cumberland sausage fingers. He could never do anything with it. We've got pub quiz here, we've got Cluedo. I can't stand Cluedo. It does my head in. My family love it. They've all got little notepads and they're writing down clues. Even when it's my go, they're writing down what I've asked to know about. They've got this system that they won't tell me about. I don't know what it is, so I just have to guess. These games are all set out, by the way, because we've got our summer fun tomorrow. This is earlier in August when we're filming, when we've got about 250 people from the local community coming in here to be able to buy stuff so that they can have fun over the summer and also then take away a free picnic that they can enjoy somewhere as a family or on their own. Play. Do you play? As children we play, don't we? I sometimes watch my youngest son, and when he didn't know, when he was a bit younger, he would be in the back garden and go, and he was either being, I don't know, what's that one, Henry Ploppo, is it, in the Toilet of Doom, or whatever it's called, I don't know that one, it's Kazam and all that, or he was being a swashbuckler, or he was in Star Wars, so many things going on in his head, and we're almost programmed, if we're not careful as adults, to stop playing. Or play becomes something that we must always do to win, like Cluedo that does my nuts. Just play. Some Christians are so serious. I remember Tony Campolo once heard someone say to him, "The joy of the Lord is deep in my heart." And Tony Campolo, the American preacher, said, "Well, why don't you let your face know?" And maybe not that sensitive, but you get the point of what he was saying. I think Jesus was playful. Why? I don't think he was a serious person all the time. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of his parables, that's his simple stories in the Gospels, are actually jokes. We've made them into stained glass window teaching moments in the church if we're not careful. But actually before that, they're a joke. When Jesus tells them a story about God being like a bloke that won't get up and answer the door in the middle of the night to a widow who desperately needs his help because he doesn't want to wake his kids up, I can imagine the disciples around the fire going, "For crying out loud, Jesus, God's not like that. You really think we have to batter down the door of God with prayer so that God will actually answer us and that God comes up with flimsy excuses as to why he won't? Of course God's not like that bloke. God would run to the door to answer the prayer, the request of that widow." Jesus's parables were often humorous or exaggerated. And also, Jesus gave people nicknames. Peter, his disciple, he said, he was called Simon, "I'm going to call you Peter," which is Cephas, which means rock. And he said, "Upon this rock I will build my church." The twins that followed Jesus, he called them the sons of thunder. Why? Because they're always falling out. Jesus played, I think. When women wanted to bring their children to be sat on Jesus' knee to be blessed and the disciples were shooing them away, in Mark chapter 10, it says that Jesus became indignant, which means he was cheesed off, and he said the kingdom of God belongs to such as these, children. So have you got childlike play in your life? If not, bring it back. Whether it be a puzzle, whether it be watching a comedy film, whether it be laughing with friends, whether it be making love with your husband or wife, whatever it is, bring play into your everyday life. I plead with you, in a world that is so grimy at times, we need play. A prayer a day helps you work, rest and play.